Before I was eventually able to take the decision of leaving my ex-husband, and I was actually dumbfounded by trying to take some decisions. And along the line, I was able to notice some things, and that is when I wanted to take the decision, I was thinking about a lot of things as regards to the society, the people around me. And there is one major thing that is actually the facilitator of most of the things I was thinking about, and that was the religion I practice, my deen. And as a result of that, I was trying to pinpoint that this religion, is it in line with me living this relationship? And normally, in the society of today, especially when those of us that are actually the Muslims, believers, Islamic believers, will tend to fall short for the idea that what would my imam say about me? The religion teaches this. We're supposed to be respectful. We're not supposed to say no to a man to marry. We're not supposed to let go of our relationship. Men are supposed to be the leaders. We are supposed to be patient. But I realized that this concept, this ideology, it has been misinterpreted from generations to another. That is, we have been feeding ourselves with the wrong information about these things. In fact, I got to realize that these notions are actually the things that should be buttressing the point of a female that wants to live a marriage that is not serving her. But because of the world we live in today, and because of the teachings and norms we have heard from different imams, from different clergymen, from different countries, they have actually coined this idea to favor the men rather than favoring the women. And when they see a woman trying to, play over these rules, trying to question these norms and beliefs, they see her as someone that is not actually practicing the thing and someone that is not abiding by the rules and norms of the religion. And I was able to realize that when I was trying to decide, there are actually some religious beliefs that was holding me back. And I believe there are so many women out there that want to go for the separation, not because they are actually looking for ways out of the norms of life, because they have genuine reasons to question the relationship they've come into for over the years. And they are able to understand that there are some things that is not going in line with them. So they want to leave. But because of this religious norms, belief, ethics, and standards, it is actually sabotaging their decisions. And they are finding it difficult to come into a conclusion. And as a result of that, they have been living in this situation, and this situation has been ripping off their happiness, their joy. In fact, it has been ripping off the potential they have to become the woman of their own dream. And on today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some, and I would just say, major religious beliefs that is holding women back. And this is going to be centered upon we Muslim women, because I can tell for sure that this is the religion I practice. And over the years, during the course of my time of separation, I've been able to realize that they are actually thoughts that have been sabotaging us. And if you actually want to get the best out of your life as a woman, you need to understand the religious basics, ethics, and standards so that no man will come from anywhere just to come and rip you off of your decisions or the choices you can make. The thing I have actually learned is that most of these things, it has been coined as rules and regulations for women to abide by. In fact, we have turned it into a kind of concept that females are supposed to listen in a manner and the men are the ones in charge. Nobody is arguing that, but when men are in charge, we need them to play like men, not like boys. We need them to play like the person that understands and knows how to interpret the concept and the ideas of this religious ethics. And that will take me to the very first point, which is we often say that men are leaders and we women must obey. That is the first belief. And that is unarguably, we believe that men are supposed to be the one in charge of the family, control the affairs, direct the notions, the vision and mission of the family. But when you get to a point whereby the man is not acting like the one that is in charge, I believe you can understand the concept of a man or a woman and a boy and a girl. We can actually pinpoint the ideas of these two people that there is no way these two people will give an idea about something that they are going to give the best. They are only going to give the best to their knowledge. But when a man is acting like a boy and a woman is acting like a girl, we know that there is something that is actually creating a barrier, which means the girl is not as exposed as the man and is not as matured as the man. And the boy is not as exposed as the man, while the girl is not as exposed as the woman. It's not as matured. But when you get to a point whereby a man is acting as if he is being childish, he is not given the rules, norms, and standards that is supposed to help the family grow and thrive. And there is a woman beside him that is actually trying to control the affairs of the house. I figured that during my own time then, when it comes to the idea, for example, I was able able to, bring up some ideas as regards to our home. I said, oh, I think I have an idea that is in the morning. Do I understand you want to go to the mosque to pray? But we are having grown-ups in the house, my daughter and my girl. Why don't you try probably on weekends? We're not going to work on Monday to on Saturdays and Sundays. Probably on Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings. You can lead the prayer for us so we can actually have a proper prayer like the way we do in the mosque. We lead the prayer, we recite the Haftar, then you infuse some teachings into these children so that they can also have the taste of their father leading the prayer, and also you're also going to be teaching them some of the ways they should be living their life. And I believe there are so many ideas I brought up like that, but my ex-husband was like, no, he has to lead the prayer for the community out there. They are depending on him. And I said, yes, but at the same time, this community is just one entity. You are also supposed to lead your own family so that eventually, whatever you are building in your home, you also project into the society. You are leading people out there, but that does not mean you have to leave your family hanging. And I think that is one notion I think I enjoy when it comes to family. You have to be able to do some things together in terms of eating, in terms of nurturing the kids, not just the role of the mother or the grandchildren. It goes to the shoulder of the man as well. So when you're bringing up ideas like that, that you know that it can actually bring the home forward, it can push the home forward, and you realize that your party, your second, your spouse is not buying into the idea. He only wants to give you rules and standards. He only wants you to abide by his own ways. You shouldn't leave the house without his permission. You shouldn't take up this job offer. You shouldn't mix with people. You shouldn't pursue your career. You have to abide because it says so. Because he is the man of the house, he wants to rule the house. You have to do things based on his norms and standards. Then you need to question your decision, and also need to question the religion. Not because you're questioning the religion based on nonsense or rubbish, but you're questioning the thing and the religion based on what you think should be done and what is right to do. Men are leaders. They are the ones that are supposed to control. Fine. Not just because they are the ones that are supposed to control, but because God has put them in a position whereby they are supposed to rule the home. But when they are not exhibiting that affair, they are not exhibiting that role, it shows they are not worthy to be that. And that is where the brain of the woman has to come in. When your man is always about obeying, you just have to listen to him, whatever he tells you, whatever decision he makes, whatever standards he has put on ground. You shouldn't question his decision. There are some days, there are some times, there are some instances that when a man gives rules in the house, you don't just give rules. You have to give ideas and concepts based on what is working in your house. When it's always about, you have to do this is what I instruct you to do. I am the leader, I am the driver, I am the controller of the house. Allah has made me the one that will put these affairs right. And when he is not exhibiting it in the right manner, then it is time to question his authority. And I believe at this time you also need to question yourself about just your day, your decision, your family, your future, and you as a whole, because you are a whole single entity. And I think the next thing that has actually given me kind of religious belief that was holding me back, but I believe is holding most of the women back, is that we have often coined endurance for abuse. And at the long run, we have coined this as a term of patience. And we usually choose that when a woman is being abused in a relationship or marriage, she has to endure. And this is what we usually term as being patient. My dear sister, I can tell you that forget about the fact that there is someone watching you, because we are going to give a kind of legacy to our children. There is amount of constraints we human beings can endure. And when it gets to a point whereby our patience is being questioned, we are going to act in a manner that even our body and our sense will disagree to every single thing that comes our way. And eventually, we are going to burst out and make that decision, either positively or negatively, that will eventually affect our life. When it comes to patience, endurance and abuse should not be the same term that should be termed as patient. There is a concept known as sabur, and there is also a concept known as perseverance, and at the same time, there's also a concept known as taking a decision. If he has gotten to a level whereby your husband is always now, we have some men that they don't actually beat, but what they do is that out of their words, their characters, their manner. In fact, there are lots of these things that I experienced during my own journey. During my own time, my ex-husband can stay in the house without talking to me for 2, 3, 4, 5, even a week, without exchanging words with me, and we are in the house. To the point that I feel so uncomfortable that I would be like, what exactly are we doing? Even if you're trying to control me or put me in order for something, that does not mean you have to make me feel so lonely in my own house to the point that I don't even know how to approach you. There are so many of us in relationships whereby we can't even talk to our husband when it comes to some instances. They punish us to the point that they get satisfied, and eventually they will use that against you. During the time after he has gone for days, weeks without talking to me, he will come back again and expect me to perform my duty role as a wife. What has happened to you performing your roles? What are those things you're doing to me? Subconsciously and consciously, you're abusing me. You're depriving me of that happiness I'm supposed to be getting from you. Either we are on good terms or not, there are so many ways we can show connection between each other, even out of the fact that we are having a disagreement or argument. There are so many of husband that don't actually be brought out of their words, their character, they body shame, they talk to you in manners. I remember vividly when I was about to leave them, when I was telling him that I'm leaving. And because I've thought about it when he was pressurizing me then to leave, because he would say that which man is going to marry me with two kids? Which kind of family am I going to raise outside this one? There is no way I can get happiness again outside this one. Even those words alone can make a woman go crazy because she will feel as if is she not worthy of anything good again. Then he will tell me then that what kind of life do I think I want to have? I don't want a certificate who will employ me for work. And even me as a woman, what legacy am I putting for my children? My children will only end up being these, they will end up without a father. I can actually have a life. This one, it was a lot. Then I realized that that alone was killing my self-esteem to the point that I found myself in a complete inner circle of his own idea and concept and belief about me. That gave me a lot of limiting mindset to the extent that I could not even get myself out of the thinking that I'm worthy and I can do more. There are so many things that I was thinking I could do, but because of his words and ideas, I was limiting myself to the things that can actually make me be better. To the extent that I was not even trying, I was only living within the views and jurisdiction of him. So there are so many things we endure as abuse. If a guy is beating you, he spank you today, okay? Though I can actually say because even for me, for a man to even raise his hand, of which I actually experienced, to beat you for the first time, people will say probably it is a mistake, it was actually forced, or probably he got into his head and he could not control it. But if I am able to endure that first time, believing that it will change, or he has shown a sign of remorseful that he's not going to exhibit that kind of behavior again. And if he should come again to do that thing, it shows there is nothing to talk about, and I am living. Because for him to have done it the first time and doing it the second time, it shows that he has the potential and is already exhibiting that character trait of himself. So there are so many things like that. If he's the one that is always body shaming you, he's always trying to talk you so that he wants to put you in a kind of manner because he wants to contain you because he's afraid of what you're going to become when you eventually leave him or when you eventually become aware of your own potential of your own self. He's afraid. So because of that, he is going to keep you in a kind of circle that will keep him controlling you. And if a man is showing that kind of abuse, there are several types of abuse. There's physical abuse, there is mental abuse, there is emotional abuse, there is what's it called? Religious abuse, because some of these men they come up with notions of the religions trying to put you in order. Now let me break this type of abuse if I can probably walk through it. The terms of physical abuse is the one that the man is always beating you or spanking you or scolding you physically, either slapping, beating, pushing, pulling, dragging. You understand? The other one is emotional abuse. Is the one that is not always available. And whenever you try to communicate with him in terms of your needs emotionally, he's always talking you out of it as if you are looking for what is not possible, or he's always making you feel as if what you're thinking is irrelevant. Probably you told him that there are some of the intimacy level you wish to explore because you probably need to spice things up, and it's like that is meant for those ladies out there that are not religiously connected, or it is meant for those women out there that don't really know about the deen. Or there are some things that guy will come and tell you that you be like, fine, I'm not doing this with a guy outside, I'm doing this with my husband. You should be able to let us spice things up. You want to put on some clothing and you'll be like, no, this is meant for Wahashri ladies. Like some of the guys will say that is the ladies of the evening time and the ladies of the time that is about to go to an end. You know, is depriving emotionally. It does not know when you cry. It does not know how to make you smile. It does not know when you're happy. It does not know when you want to feel elevated. It does not know when you want to feel Do you really want to feel his attention? He's not there. It's just as if it's just a figure just to provide money. And in fact, there is financial abuse. A man that is always expecting you to put up for the kids out of your own pocket, out of your own hard-earned money. We understand that you being the man of that, there are going to be times that you need help. But at the same time, that doesn't mean you have to shift the whole attention to the woman. You need him to be there in terms of finances, and he's nowhere to be found. You are the one feeding your kids and sending them to school under his nose. It shows you can actually take care of your children without any man's influence. There is also societal abuse. During my own time, my ex-husband will not want me to step out with people. He will not want me to associate with people. He will always want me to be in the house. Going for work, he will give me the time before I come inside, and he has to give me the routine of how I plan my days and weeks and every other thing. And there is also religious abuse. That's when they will come up with different notions about religion. The religion says this. It says that they will only coin the whole of the religion's wordings to their own satisfaction so that they can have you in control. You can feel free to read more about this abuse, but I can tell you that when it comes to a level whereby your happiness is being questioned, it is coming to a level whereby you are not even sure if you actually want this marriage or not, or you're not even sure of what this marriage is going to bring to you in the future, or you're not even sure if you are living or you are just there's a difference between surviving and thriving. Surviving means you're only just going through the day just to keep yourself breathing. But thriving means you're not just surviving, but you are having a purpose out of the whole journey. I think it is time to question the decision. And I think the third thing I have actually learned, which are the religious beliefs and norms that are holding we women back, it is family over well-being. Most of the time, the religion will teach us that we should nurture the family and make sure the family is in order rather than focusing on yourself. In fact, I got to realize that there was a time when I was in my ex then, and most times when I put on some clothing, like I want to socialize, I want to meet people, I want to be on social media, I would just want to post some things about myself. Not actually a kind of personal affair. I mean, probably on Fridays, I just want to post some pictures, happy Jemwa, this one, Jemwa Mufida, on Eid days and the likes of them. And at the same time, there are some times whereby I will look at myself and be like, I think I need some personal time, probably just for me to be alone. Do I understand there is the influence of the children? But at the same time, you can't deny the fact that there are so many women out there that would wish they can actually go back to the times where they don't have family again, where they can actually be on their own and spend a lot of days and months on their own, living their life single. Not because they don't want to be a mother, not because they don't want to be a mother, because they miss that part of them. And because they miss that part of them, that is actually affecting them. Some people will tell you that when it comes to marriage, you have to let go of your own well being. You have to sacrifice every single thing to the family. But I can tell you that is a no no. That is one thing you should not buy into. If your family is making you choose between your well being and the upkeep of your family, then you have to start questioning and start to rethink about the whole situation. Because you shouldn't be in a situation whereby you are going to have to choose between yourself and the family. These two things have to work together. Though we understand that there are going to be some times and instances where you have to let go of one to pursue the other, or where you have to, bend them for one just for the other to stand. But that does not mean you have to let go of your own well-being. And I battled with this for a lot of time. In fact, it got to a point when I was taking some contraceptive just not to get pregnant. I was taking levofemidine. And I realized that because I was trying to avoid not getting pregnant, I was taking contraceptive. I told my ex-husband, you can actually go through some other methods just to be able to preserve pregnancy from happening. But he would tell me that as a man, he can't actually do all those things. I'm supposed to be the one to take that decision and work on it because I am the woman. I'm going to be affected more than him. Because of the notions, the norms he has always been feeding me with, I was putting that in my head and I went for contraceptive method. I started taking drugs every single day. I figured that after a while, my body, my skin, my color, my feeding pattern, my mood, and every other thing was shattered. I don't even know how to put myself in order. Order. This month I'm going to get fat. That month I'm going to get thin. The next month I'm going to be having eczema. Another month I'm going to be having rashes. The next one I'm going to be having delayed menstrual flow. Another month I'm going to be having irregular menstrual flow. And lots of things. I have food inadequacies. I can't eat. I can't actually sleep. And all these things, when you come up with the notions and try to discuss with your husband, some of them are so nonchalant that they will choose not to understand. And because you're even telling, they should at least ask questions so that they can get some clarity and know how this is affecting you. but they expect you to be able to contain the whole of that situation and still put the house in order. There are so many of us, we have actually put our family over our career. We have put our family over every single thing we want to achieve. Though I understand you have to take care of your children, but at the same time, you need to also take care of yourself and make sure your well being is paramount to you. Because at the end of the day, if this family is not there, you will be the one to battle with your life. And now, when I eventually leave, do you know where I started from? I started with my health because the health was not in place, it was not in order. I had to put in a lot of effort, a lot of stress just to see myself get back on my feet. I battled with eczema, I battled with acne, I battled with irregularities in menstrual flow, I battled with food inadequacies, I battled with a lot of things. You don't have to let go of your well-being. Don't say because they say you have to care of your family. Fine, your family is there, but your well-being is also important. You need to also make sure that you are living your own life and your health is in check. There is physical health, there is mental health, there is spiritual health, there is emotional health. You know, there is spiritual health, a lot of health levels you're supposed to take control of. And I think the next thing which I've actually believed and religious belief that is actually holding us back is that cultural shame. We usually tend to, coin cultural shame and a kind of around the world. What do I mean by this is that most times as Muslims, we usually believe that when a woman is out of his or her marriage, she is going to be a shame to the religious norms. I think I'm going to align this as we're trying to follow the. Okay, I'm going to use this as an example. I think that will give us a kind of clarity. When I was going through that time when I wanted to leave, my ex would tell me that. Then it was actually one of the leaders in terms of religious in our community. Then he would tell me that how is it going to sound when they heard that the wife of our imam leaves the imam and goes out because the imam is not putting things in order and she wants to live a better life outside the one the imam has created out of the religious norms and standards. I don't know if you understand that concept, but I think I'm going to break it down in this manner. It means that he is trying to tell me that as a Muslim leader, as a leader in the Islamic religion, the wife of somebody that holds the role of a kind of bigger role in the society should not live because of the role the husband is partaking in. She should consider that role and try as much as possible to maintain her own family. Even if the relationship is affecting her, she tries to help the man uphold that level of himself in the society. Then I figured that there are so many of us like that when we want to live like that, when our husband comes to us and tell us some things that he is a leader in society, he has reputation, he's wealthy, he holds this role in his workplace, this one, that, especially when it comes to this religion, we usually try to think that it is not right, it is not good enough for a woman to live in this kind of situation because of the role the husband is carrying. Or even the woman can be probably a church leader or a mosque or a yardini or the kind of roles in religion like that. But I think that is not a reason to consider. I swear to God about it. Then I was thinking about it then, but I figured that that was actually putting me in circle. I was not thinking about my future. That is only a thought for your present situation. And I think your present situation has to be the time where you get to decide either you want to go back to your past life or you want to build that future of yourself. Except you don't even have a future of yourself, or your whole life has been centered into the customs and traditions of what you're living. So I was thinking about this and I figured that there is nothing like cultural shame or religious shame in anything. You have to be able to uphold your own norms and standards and know exactly what you are living for. If you don't ask the question of what do I live for, then you will be nowhere to be found. If you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. And that is one thing I got to realize after the time when I was able to decide eventually. Do not let the cultural shame be a yardstick to hold you back. It is the religious belief, fine, but now we are here to break down norms and standards. Not because we don't want to be submissive, because we know that if we don't take ourselves seriously, our life will be nothing to write home about. I want to leave the best of the legacy we could to our children. This children is another generation coming. If our parents had actually left this legacy for us, we won't be treading on this path. Maybe on this part, but not as much as the world is going today. And because we want to reduce the rate of which things are going to happen in the future, then we are going to be the one to sacrifice and persevere and decide. Even when it feels so wrong and difficult to do, we are going to decide and live on that notion so that the children that are coming will be able to learn something better and live a better life than we do. It is nothing to write home about cultural shame or giving you a kind of notions about because your husband holds this particular role or you hold this particular role, you are going to have a new life entirely. In one of my videos that I shared that if you think you are having a hard time or you want to leave and you don't even know where to start, or you think because of the people you know before are going to be a reason for you to keep thinking or not to divorce in situation that is not helping you, change your location. By the time you change your location, you're going to be meeting an entire new people and you're going to be seeing and reflecting on a new perspective. You're going to be operating on a new mindset. After divorce, I realized that there are so many women in Lagos that are single mothers and having a purposeful life. Not because they don't want to be submissive, don't get me wrong, not because they don't want to have a man on their head, but because they've walked through the pattern, they've seen what is there, and they know, they understand. They understood the assignment and accepted totally that for them to be able to maintain a ground, they have to let go of the past self, of their past life. And the next thing, which is religious belief that I've actually heard that I've seen over the years, is that when a woman is educational and career driven, it's going to be a slap on the husband's face. And I think this is very, very common. I mean, they will expect you that when you are educated, you have wealth, a kind of qualification, and some kind of lifestyle standards to a point. You have to submit everything to your husband. And at the same time, you shouldn't be too career driven. These are two concepts in one, but I'm going to make it brief as possible. When a woman is educated, most of men, you see, especially, let me just say in the world of today, most of men will see this as a threat. Only few men understand the assignment. Only few men understand that when my woman is in a very good place, then me, I am also in a better place. Because there's going to be a level of dependency she's going to be having on me. And because she's not depending her entire life on me, I will be able to have breathing space to create anything I want to create and do whatever I want to do. Not because I don't respect her, but because I understand her that she is a woman of purpose and circumstance. She also has something to do and become in this world. Only few men understand that. And those that understand that, I'm not talking about just 1,000, I'm talking about thousands of men out of millions and billions of people out there. When a woman is educated and career driven, I don't think it is a problem. They will always be using that because maybe because you're educated, you believe you should be more than your husband, because he's not educated, you want to expose yourself out there to those men that will not value you, that will do this. And even if you have a level of independence, you should be able to at least come down to your husband level so that he can be the one in charge and controlling your affairs. My dear sister, if you come across any family or any home or any relationship that is dictating that to you, I would advise you to run. I mean, don't just run like you're running with one, and run to the best you can and get as far away as possible you can. Because these people, they are only trying to sabotage you. And at the same time, they are going to use these religious norms to sabotage when it is time for you to take decision. I want you to know that if a man does not appreciate you that you are educated, that marriage will not last. A man has to appreciate the fact that my woman is career driven and she has a purpose in this life. And if you want to leave and you're using that as an excuse for you, then it shows that it is nothing to even walk into in the first place. Nobody should be controlled. Nobody has to be put in order. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put every single individual of us in order. It is now left for all of us to communicate to ourselves in a language that we understand and reflect that teachings and knowledge that He has communicated to us. Not because somebody is coming to rearrange the patterns of the world. Not because somebody is coming to now analyze the old concept in his own language than the language that the divine one has actually interpreted for us. So I don't think there is any point or any reason for you to now stay in a relationship because of the career or because you're educated because there isn't that against you. People will talk, people will use that against you, people will come with different notions and perspective, but you are not supposed to stay and abide by those rules. In fact, that is one of the things I talked about when I was writing one of my ebook on my Telegram channel, and that is rule breaker mindsets and affirmations. There are going to be non-standards of people and society out there, but it is left for you to question those beliefs and not because you are worthy of every good thing the world has to offer. I was able to break down some norms and expectations from society and how you can actually use your mindset to break free and cut this shackle, because nobody is supposed to be in a controlled environment, because every single individual is coming into this world with a single purpose that will eventually create a ripple effect in the world at large. So everybody is meant to have a purpose. You don't need anybody to now continue in a situation because you're educated or you're career driven, because they will tell you that your eyes has been exposed. Of course it is exposed than him, because of course I'm educated than him. I can see, I can tell, I can actually pass, and I can think. Most of the men out there, especially when it comes to this religion, in Nigeria, African men, they always want their women to be below them. And when they see any woman that is above them, they always see it as a threat. And because they see it as a threat, they just want to put her in order and control every single affairs of hers. My sister, it is not a reason to consider. And I think the next thing that I've actually noticed about religious norms and beliefs that is holding most of women back is that women are supposed to remain silent in marital issues. We're not supposed to talk to people out there. Let me tell you this. When it comes to marital issues, intimacy, relationship, marriage, the likes of them, it is wrong for you to talk to your friend. It is wrong for you to talk to your relative. It is wrong for you to talk to somebody that is close to you. Yeah, it is wrong. I mean, in this manner. I mean, these people, they are not actually the one that knows about marriage, that can counsel and mentor you. But when your family people or when your relative are probably counselors, they are coaches, they are mentors in terms of marriage, then it is right for you to. I mean, it is wrong for you to talk to them, because when you talk to these people, they are not going to be seeing things from a better perspective. They're not going to be seeing things from exactly what is happening to you. They'll be seeing things as regards to maybe you are complaining too much or you're nagging too much. But what you're supposed to do is go to the right people. If your friend is the one that is probably a marriage coach or a woman counselor or a marriage mentor, likes of them, it is right for you to speak to her. But when she is not in this category, I think it is wrong. Not because they don't want your interest at heart, but because they're going to be advising you in two ways. Either because they want your interest at heart, they're going to be giving you notions based on your own side alone. They won't see it from the angle of your ex-husband. And if it is the people that loves your husband more, they are going to be seeing things from the angle of your husband, not because of the angle of both of you. I understand that there is interest in marriage. When it comes to family, we choose our own person than the other. But at the same time, that does not mean that only the woman is to be blamed, and that does not mean that only the man is to be blamed. When it comes to marital issues, you are meant to go for somebody that will see perspective from the wife's side and also from the husband's side, so that this person can put these two concepts and ideas together to give you a possible way out. And when women in relationship in marriage based on Muslim African law, when you now go out there to seek marital counseling, advices, experiences from people, they see it as if you're making a wrong step. Whereas my ex-husband said that a lot of time, and I think I'm happy with the fact that I was able to speak with people. Then I was looking for marriage coaches, counselors, and the likes of them. So I was chatting with one of my WhatsApp, and I stumbled on the chat, and he was like, "I'm not supposed to discuss this one." And I said, "Why won't I discuss? These people are actually the one that I feel safe with. I've tried to discuss with your relative, I've tried to discuss with some of your friends, but these people are not actually giving what I want, because they are not judging the case, they are not addressing the case based on what is actually happening. I don't want somebody that will just put the blame on somebody. I want somebody that will be able to tell me that I am at fault here and you are also at fault here. And somebody that will be able to tell me that both of us are meant to make this thing work. Not those that will tell me that I should be calm, why do you keep addressing me, or when I'm calm, you will see that and change. No. I want somebody that will be able to let both of us know that it is our work. In the first place, you're not the only one that decided to come into this marriage. We both did. So when issues are coming, I need someone that will be able to tell me, let me know that I am at fault, you are at fault, and both of us needs to make things work. And when they see women that is trying to look for solution, look for way out, they always question them. Believing that whatever is happening in your marriage, you have to be able to control it. Whereas this is is causing a lot of, you know, chaos, ache, and a lot of drop down in most of women. And I think the last thing on my list is one of the things that people have actually coined as religious belief that is holding women back to looking for divorce and like something is that a woman should not own her voice. And I think if I'm going to rate this from 1 to 10, one of the things that I actually use to leave, that is actually a driving force to me then when I was leaving, is that I want to own my voice. I want to have my voice. Not just because I want to be rude, I want to be mannerless, I want to be very bad, I want to be controlling, but because owning my voice will be able to let me communicate what I want in a language that I understand, that I believe you will also understand. Owning my voice will give me the curiosity to be able to become a woman of myself. Only my voice will be able to let me tell you that what you are doing to me is not making me happy. And this is what I want to be happy. And this is the kind of life I want for myself. Only my voice will make people realize that I stand for a purpose and people cannot just be pushing me back and forth to wherever it is they want me to be. And living the life I am living is not just based on what you want from me, it is based on what I also want for myself. What I also want for myself, haven't you noticed that being a part of this family is part of it? Because if I don't want this family in the first place, I wouldn't be here. It shows I chose you as well. Why do you not have to make me question my decisions? When there are disputes, there are issues, there are notions, and the wife is trying to bring up ideas, concepts, and notions that could actually bring the home forward, and you making her feel as if she's not supposed to have, she does not have a brain of her own. Because most of young men have actually pushed a lot of women into the kitchen, trying to cater for the family, carrying pregnancy, nurturing kids, they feel they don't really have anything in their head again. Most of we women, when we are able to sit down under a very good and nice influence, we can do and become a very best version other than what our husbands are doing out there. Women are moving mountains, they are living large, they are creating ideas, they are becoming successful. What is making me so different? Why can't I own my own voice? And I think this is going to be one of the concepts of the ebook I'm going to be writing some days on my Telegram channel. And that is becoming your own woman. That is the notion that helps you own your voice and maintain some notions and standards about your life. You know, you should have an ideal picture of yourself, the future you want to become. And if you're communicating this to your husband and he's not saying that's part of you, it shows the man is not going to be a part of your future and is not going to make that future come into reality. You should be able to have a voice and know your ideal self. When there are issues, you're coming up with ideas or you're trying to advise your husband and he's not even seeing it as if you're making a point. There are some of us women out there when we are in our house, we are giving our husband some advice. It will be like, well, it's actually not relevant. And you go out there to advise somebody else exactly what you have said. They will commend you for the effort of you even thinking that much to be able to ease their situation. And you'll be like, wow, is this the kind of life? Is this the kind of brain I have? Why is my husband not even saying this part of me? I can tell you that since when I have left and I've been talking to people, making videos, writing books, and likes of them, when people commend my efforts, I'll be like, Alhamdulillah. Because, not because all this, though we know positive feedbacks actually helps you release a lot of mental energy to do something, but I will now be like, I've been doing this thing when I was in my ex home and he sees me doing most of these things every day. But it makes me feel as if I am treading on the wrong path, as if what I'm doing is not even worthy. And when I'm out now, people are saying it as if it's a God man. It got to a point when I decided that I'm going to use this as a source of income as stream. And I went out there and started searching and looking. I realized that what I carry in my head, alhamdulillah, is worthy. It can actually make me money, which I've already started. And it has been actually giving me a positive lifestyle. So what happened to that voice when I was there? It shows that voice was in the wrong place. It's not in the right place. And for me to be able to understand my ideal self, it shows I don't just stand for nothing. I stand for something, and that something I stand for is just like a threat to my ex-husband. Some of us can be a total package and be in the wrong destination. Some of us can be a total package and fall into the wrong hands. And by the time you realize that you are not in the right place, you're not in the right spot, then it is time to start questioning your decision, your religion, and the reflection of this laws. And I think this is what I've been able to share with you. I think this can help you brush up and bring out more light. I know it's just a journey I'm embarking on, and I hope you will be able to have a rethink of your own life. And I can tell you, divorce is not the end of life. Divorce can be the only solution, not because I'm preaching for everybody to be out of their marriage, because through divorce, I have been able to see myself and understand my ideal self. Until I see you in my next one. Bye.